All right, here we are. We are live in yes. Gotta find out where you are so I can mute you. There we go. All right, now we won't get double play. Sorry about that, everyone. So I want to introduce you all to Wanda. Wanda is the owner of Adriel Healing Center. And I've known Wanda for several years now. She is someone that is in marriage and family therapy and also does healing therapy. She joined this challenge in order to, it says that this has ended. There we go. It did not end. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure. It said the live stream ended. So I was like, what happened? So anyway, so I asked Wanda because she just got complete clarity. And I guess, Wanda, can we just start with how do you feel right now?
I feel light. I feel hopeful. I feel like I have a purpose and a goal. I feel blessed. Thank you, Joelle.
Thank you for trusting me with this. I know that this process was refining. And thank you for trusting that refining and struggling through and letting that pressure come and letting yourself be pressured. Because I know that this clarity did not come easily. How long have you been trying to get this clarity? How many years?
5 years.
5 years.
Although, okay, I say 5 years, but I think it actually started before I retired. I retired 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it started before I retired in preparation, knowing that I wasn't going to be the director of counseling anymore. But okay, I'm not done with life. I'm not done with making a difference in the world. But how am I going to do that? Yeah. That's been my struggle.
So would you say 8, 10 years?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So, wow. I'm just so grateful that God used me to help bring this clarity. And so yeah, just wanted to jump on here and inspire others when you just got the breakthrough, how they can get this too, and just walk through the process. So what I was thinking is maybe the best way is to go through just your different posts, because you said that, what would it feel like? So why don't we go back to what it would feel like? And I'm going to go ahead and share screens for this. So, all right. So if we see, I think the screens are going to be shared. So can you see my screen, Wanda?
I can see yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here. And we're just going to go through. Oh, no, that's not where I'm looking. We need to go to here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through. There we are. So we are scrolling through here, and we are going to go down to your first post about how it would feel when you, here we go. Here we are. Yes. So let's double click there. So here you go. So Wanda, this is how you said it would feel and how you were feeling. How how does this resonate with what you're feeling right now?
I am feeling that freedom to be who God created me to be. Yeah.
Awesome.
And by the way, these tears are relief tears, happy tears. Yeah. I'm so thankful.
I am too. I really, really am. And I love these pictures, and I love how this really encapsulated when you first told me on the phone, you're like, this, like, I feel this freedom. I feel, and you actually said, I feel like those pictures I posted.
Yep.
And so, that just, it really shows, really doing that work and seeing how will I feel when I get this release, and really digging into that and, going through this process. So, well done. So there's other people's posts there. And let's see, then pressing in, let's see, where is, you did a written one today. Here we go. Here it is. So I read this one earlier, but I'm going to read it again. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the feedback. And then we're going to talk how we struggled through this just a little bit. So, well, actually, I'll just do a little bit. So in here, you said, you have an abundance of life experiences that gave you skills needed to support people to heal emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Our Creator God has made us emotionally, physically, and spiritually whole. You talked about the lie that it costs too much to heal, and Christians specifically are taught that problems are caused by lack of faith, and that the truth is that it costs more to be emotionally, physically, spiritually, to invest in that healing. And really, you were toying with more feelings and abstract concepts instead of really diving into the marketable skills that you could have. And so I gave that feedback in there, and then you were listening to that feedback. And what were the things coming up in you when you were hearing that feedback on the video?
I was thinking, yeah, okay, she's right. But I don't know how to dig deeper. I know I'm missing something, but I don't know how to dig deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And
so then you reached out.
Yeah,
and
I did.
Thank you for reaching out. And so we then talked through, and I have some notes right here. We talked through, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up your Facebook right here. So in your own words, can you sort of capture what we talked about and how we wrestled through to look at the coal, in order to find the diamond, and then what your diamond is and how it works, how your niche works, and all of that stuff? Are you able to do that?
I'll try to remember it all.
That was a lot.
Don't hesitate to interrupt me.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I had the sound turned on again on the online for some reason.
Okay.
All right.
So when I started Adriel Healing Center, I was looking at it because I'm also a health coach. So I was looking at it as, okay, we are all created as being physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but many times we get fractured because of stuff that's happened in our lives. And so I was looking at it as I can combine it all and help people to heal mentally or emotionally, physically, and spiritually. But in the back of my mind, I have always thought, and where my passion has always been, and I'll do it for free. In fact, I do it for free. My passion has always been in helping people who have experienced loss. Because I've been there. I've been there to where my husband and I experienced the death of our youngest son. And I know what it's like to need some support in knowing how to heal that loss and not having it. And so I'll do it for free because I know the need is there. But I'm also very much aware of the fact that it's not working. You know, it's just not working. So
would you say that the light bulb of your message was not plugged in?
it was not plugged in, you're right.
But your message really was emotionally, physically, and spiritually, like we just saw in there. The whole heart is the emotional, spiritual connection and all that. But what brought out where your ideal niche is was to really see how that message and your bleeding heart connected.
Mhm.
And when we saw the bleeding heart of what you've experienced, what you've walked through, and what you will do for free, no matter what, and then we were able to identify your message of emotionally and physically and spiritually. And then I said that I honor that, I asked you once, why don't you charge for grief recovery? And you said, no, I could never do that. And I never pressed again. But today I said, could you happen to charge to teach people grief recovery? And what was your response?
I went from tears to, well, yeah. And I pretty much gave you a whiplash.
My heart felt a little seasick, I will admit.
And I can do that. In fact, I was just thinking this week that people don't get it. They don't understand, and it's not their fault. They've not been told. In fact, I shared something just this week on Facebook about how to support people through grief. And as I was posting that, I thought, I need to share this with the world.
So your inner heart's been telling you need to share this with the world.
Yeah.
And
so you helped me to put it all together.
Yes. So with the Holy Spirit's help, so this is what we call when we come to the strategy table with God. So both of us were prayerfully coming to the Holy Spirit saying, release this niche clarity. Help us to walk through these steps. And these steps are really, really key in this. So now, even through that confusion, can you look back and see why each one of these steps to press into it are so important?
Yes, I can.
So I'm going to go ahead and share that diagram. Okay. So can you see that diagram?
Yes. I actually
right.
copied that a document because I want to look at it frequently.
So do you want to explain what is going on here in this diagram now?
So the light bulb is, okay, so the coal to a diamond. So we're creating a program to charge to teach facilitators about grief. And
Okay,
that's the power.
Yep, and that's the
Pardon me?
powerhouse. And are people going to be able to make money off of them offering this service?
They can.
Yeah.
They can make money off of it. They can do it for free, whatever it is that they choose to do with it.
Yes. But wasn't that was part of the exercise today?
That's right.
Can you share something? Can one of these things that you do, can somebody make money off of it or save money by going through it?
Both.
And yeah, they can do both.
Yes. That's right.
So that's why this is one of those keys. So sorry, I interrupted you. So go ahead and continue.
Okay. So the light bulb to light, and I actually did go to light. Grief recovery through healing the mind-body connection, becoming emotionally, physically, and spiritually whole. And then it's got in brackets and book. So there are an awful lot there's a lack in information about how to heal from a Christian perspective, heal through or walk through grief from a Christian perspective. So I'm going to write a book too.
Now, are you looking to make money off of your book?
A little bit, but I know that books are, there are lots of books out there. So, if I don't make a whole lot of money off of it, it's not a big deal. I'm going to make more money off of the program, teaching other people.
So you have no problem with writing a book and giving it away?
Oh, I'm not going to give it away.
No, I'm saying to have that book, and if somebody needs it and you have a copy, you would have no problem saying here.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah. Whereas before you had the coal to diamond, before you had your powerhouse plugged in, how would that feel to try to give that book away?
I would be feeling like as if I'm giving away part of myself.
Yeah. In a negative sense, right?
In a negative sense, that's right.
And now that we have you plugged into your powerhouse, how does that feel different?
It feels totally different. It's like, okay, I can do that. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Incredible, just that mind shift clarity. And people can see the timestamps on where you were at. So I'm so grateful you were able to jump on a call right now so that we could really show how pressing into this really can bring clarity that quickly.
That's right. Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead, and I think you were still sharing on the switch from the light bulb to the light, how that switched on for you?
Well, it switched on when I realized that, see, I had been focusing on I need to do therapy and I need to do health coaching. But the light switched on when I realized that what I really want to do, what I really need to do from my heart, is to teach other people how to heal people, how to help people heal from loss.
Yeah.
And because I know how to do it, and I've done it many times, I know I can help other people to know how to do it too.
Mm-hmm. And I'm one that rallies for you doing grief recovery. When my daddy-o for those listening, when my daddy was going through a massive amount of grief, I immediately called Wanda, and I think she had an incredible influence in saving his life, because he was at the point of dying from a broken heart due to what was going on with his son. And she made time every single day for a week to walk him through the grief that he was feeling, because he was at the point he couldn't walk. He was in so much grief, and we thought we were going to lose him. And she was incredibly instrumental, leaned on the Holy Spirit to be exactly what he needed to be in that particular time when his son abandoned him. And I am ever grateful for that. And so, you know, I know that Wanda has an incredible calling to spearhead and change the world in grief recovery through healing that mind-body connection and becoming spiritually, physically, and emotionally whole after grief. I've seen it happen, and that was the foundational thing that got Don, my daddy-o, to re-engage, where he was able to then go through 17 days of forced isolation in the hospital and come out transformed. And now he's 80 years old and just got his motorcycle's license after turning 80. So this grief recovery process, because he went through her program after that, after the hospital, he then went through her program. And I mean, we're talking a doctor of psychology. You know, Dawn is a doctor of psychology and went through Wanda's program. And our family's life is indebted to your work. And so I completely rally behind this being something that you are definitely called and anointed to do. And I am so grateful.
You are very welcome. It was a pleasure. And I don't mean that as in, you know, it made me all excited and happy, but it makes me excited and happy now to see how whole he is.
It is incredible. He's out there fixing the wood chipper and running circles around 2 teenage boys, and he's 80. So just if that's a credit to your program and your calling, please, you know, take and embrace that. But I am just so thrilled to walk through this journey for Adriel Healing Center and to see how this absolutely transformed you this afternoon to really embrace this process that I feel that God has given me to walk other people through to get to their ideal niche, to your ideal niche, and understanding that it is a process that you go through and uncover in order to get your powerhouse. And I am so super excited to walk through this with you over the next, however long God allows us to be in each other's lives. So is there any last things that you want to share about the process that anybody that's going through this you feel should know?
Well, I just want to say that I know it works. I know it works, so trust it and trust Joelle. She'll walk you through it.
Well, thank you. And I am so grateful that this has released peace in your life and understanding and just that diamond light to shine. And your message is going to shine brightly. And that rainbow is just going to, it's just going to flood the world with light and laughter. And that grief recovery is so needed. So needed.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the live feed now. Thank you to everyone who has joined with us. And please leave your comments in the leave your comments encouraging Wanda, letting her know how you connected with this testimonial. And any questions that you have, feel free to message me. I am here to help you walk through this process. It is a mind perspective shift. We are going through. Sorry, there's that echoing again. Why does that happen? All right. I'm just going to have to cut off, I think, because I don't know where it's coming through. So blessings. And I'm going to cut off the live feed now. So I will talk with you guys on the other side of Zoom, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's press through to get even more clarity for your niche. Bye for now.